Beuys' choice of materials might be dull, primitive, and have negligible aesthetic and commercial value in bourgeois society. Yet their unique inherent qualities must be examined. Fat, its flexibility and potential to change from solid to liquid form makes it a potent symbol of transformation and spiritual transcendence. Felt, its absorbent and insulating qualities act as a symbol of warmth, insulation and isolation. Both materials have inherent qualities of conduction and insulation of heat, crucial for healing and transformation of energy. They reflect Beuys' desire to heal, awaken and transform a selfish, materialistic and rational-driven society into an emotional, spiritual and creative community, one that has the agency to change the world for the better, one that doesn't bring humanity into war again. Iron, its strength and durability is associated with masculinity and Mars. Copper, its excellent electrical conductivity and malleable characteristic is associated with femininity and Venus. They too become conduits of storing and transmitting creative and spiritual energies. Beuys fought as a soldier during World War II, and saw the catastrophic destruction that was brought upon the world, especially his country Germany. He saw the war as a sign that man's humanist and Enlightenment ideals for rationality, analytical thought and materialistic success have suppressed their emotions, creativity and agency to bring positive change to the world. Man's spiritual disconnect with the world led to that unfathomable wreckage, and is now in a state of medical emergency. Having gone through the war himself, Beuys hoped to use art to heal his community and the world by awakening their repressed spiritual and creative soul. His archaic and primordial material choices aim to reconnect viewers with their primitive past, which is pure, natural, uncultured and brimming with invisible spiritual energies. Compared to the retinal modern art and the rational classical art, Beuys' primal works reach people more deeply than intellectually. The works stimulate the viewer's primal senses and awaken their long-forgotten spiritual past, the warm fat, the insulating felt, the cold metal, the tactile soil that exudes an earthy smell. Beuys believed that the art object alone is unable to spark emotional and spiritual engagement. Hence, he used performance art, or in his words actions, as a means to directly stir viewers' emotions and engage their energies in a spiritual way. He would wrap himself in felt and make primeval animal sounds through a microphone, cover his head with honey and gold leaf like a mask, as he whispered to a dead hare in a room of paintings, or live in a room with a wild coyote for 3 days, in an attempt to reconcile with the animal, believed to be a vessel of a god amongst the Native Americans. Through these seemingly irrational and ritualistic performances, Beuys hoped to inspire viewers to see the world beyond their rational ways, draw on their archaic, instinctual and intuitive thoughts and emotions, and embrace this forgotten source of spiritual energy and creativity. Beuys saw himself as a shaman, a spiritual doctor who bridged the portals of the physical and spiritual through rituals, healed mankind by energizing their spirituality, and motivated them to creatively be involved in changing the world, for the better. Beuys claimed that during the war, his plane was shot down in Crimea. He was found and healed by the nomadic Tartar tribe. His bruised and battle-weary body was greased with animal fat and wrapped in felt to raise his temperature so as to help him recover. This ancient healing aid was believed to enrich and sustain the human mind, body and spirit, influencing Beuys' artistic intentions and visual syntax, his elemental materials as transformative and life-sustaining substances, his healing techniques of wrapping or smearing objects, and his ritualistic performances. After the war, he pursued art and taught at Dusseldorf Art Academy. There, his interactions with Fluxus artists such as Pape led him to venture into performance art, and regarded his political activism and academic teaching as art. They serve as pragmatic means to educate and heal society, complementing his spiritual artworks. Through open classes and political rallies, Beuys preached a new style of governance that promotes direct democracy, transforms education towards holistic, spiritual and creative learning, and opposes Western capitalism and Eastern communism. Beuys' material choices aren't just symbolic. They challenge established academic assumptions, that art must represent reality or contain universal aesthetic principles. He insisted on process over product, resisting the normal appreciation for beauty which he regarded to be an act of escaping from issues and obligations of daily life. He believed that beauty prevented one from being creative and changing his current routines of life. This resulted in his earthy, monochromatic materials and repetitive performances, drawing attention to the changing inherent qualities of the materials, and the performative acts themselves. Beuys also used animals, believed to be mystical creatures that can reactivate people's repressed creativity. The hare is a symbol of reincarnation, mirroring his desire to invite man to rebirth into a rational, creative spiritual being. Honey is associated with its healing properties and its producer, a colony of bees living in harmony. Influenced by philosopher Steiner, Beuys hoped that human society can learn from the bees, acknowledge that everyone is an artist that can shape society, a giant social sculpture, for the better. Transformation is a key characteristic in Beuys sculptures, installations and performances. His choice of media undergo foul chemical reactions, fermentations, oxidation, rot and corrosion. His performances involve change, such as the strengthened relationship between artist and wild animal over time, and the enlightened artist after speaking to the spiritual world via the dead hair. These transformations represent the need for the maimed state of society to undergo rehabilitation, from cold to warm, solid to liquid, rigid to flexible, rational to creative. Beuys' performances also often involve a degree of physical discomfort, such as lying or standing in awkward positions or performing physical actions for long periods of time. Doing so helped him develop a compelling shamanistic persona, as if he is enabling a passage between the physical and spiritual world. By creating a ritualistic atmosphere, he hoped the viewers would unite the intuitive, passionate soul with the intellectual mind, and prepare them for a spiritual evolution.